Yep.
Hi, back with you again. So good morning or good afternoon or good evening, not sure when you do your sessions. I'm hoping that those of you that are joining in our sessions are hoping you're doing at least 2 or 3 sessions a week. You may got to the stage where you've done some work on your own. I have been telling you how you can build it up, or you can just keep it really easy. In an ideal world, we try to do at least 3 cardiovascular sessions a week. That's anything that gets the heart rate up, makes us a little bit hot and sweaty, and that's your cardiovascular. So ideally between 3 and 5 times a week, but 3 would be great. And then our toning work. We started now to do strengthening on the legs, the bottom. In the last session we did the upper body, we did some work on the arms. Today we're going to do some session on the abdominals, hopefully to bring in the waist and maybe some strengthening of the lower back. So we hit work, we stick into the same moves because I want everybody to get used to what we're doing. You have got a progression so you can make the moves harder or keep them easy. As the weeks go forward with our sessions, we are going to be adding some harder work in. So I'm just trying to build your fitness up gradually for those of you that have never done any exercise, but hopefully I'm giving enough content for those of you that do regular exercise to make it a little bit harder. Remember, you don't only have to do the 10 minutes. If you want to work it easy, you can just do 5 minutes and then you can rest in between moves. If you are working to the full level, you could do the 10 minutes with me and add on 10 or 20 minutes, or you can start before our session and do 10 minutes and then join in with me. So it's very, very flexible. Right, okay, so I've been asking you guys to warm up before we start. So if you know you've got a session, you're coming into Sally's sessions, then what I'd like you to do is spend 2 or 3 minutes just walking around the house, or walking up and down the stairs, or marching on the spot, or just doing some knee lifts. Anything where you are moving continuously will start to warm up your muscles and will start to raise your heart, and that's all we want to do for the warm up. So the warm up will be somewhere between 2 and 5 minutes of just warming up your muscles. So I've already started my warm up. We're going to get ready to go into the first move. The first move now would be on the spot jog, on the spot march or on the spot jog, or we're now doing some sprinting and jogging. So work to your own level. If you're feeling good today and you've been sticking to the easier levels, you might want to pace it up a little bit and make it a little bit harder. If you're feeling really tired, you might want to bring it down. Remember, any session of exercise is better than no session. So your first move on the spot. We're still working now to 40 seconds on and 20 seconds off. So you've got your march, you can make it harder by bringing in your arms. You can make it harder still by making your legs higher. We could go to a little jog on the spot, little jog. We could go to a sprint on the spot, or we can mix that up. So a jog before and sprint before, jog before, sprint before, or march. Nice and steady. In the future weeks, we are going to be pacing it up, and I think probably next week, there's your break, 20 seconds, no movement at all, let your heart rate come down. Remember the rest, you do need the rest, that's how the HIIT works. Works your heart and lungs really hard, gives it a rest. It's almost like a massage for your heart and lungs. It's really, really effective. Your next move is going to be knee lifts on the spot, easy level. Just lifting your knee up and down. That could be just a little lift. You can make it harder, higher lift, harder still. Bring in the arms here, high arms, or high impact with a little hop, or double time. Knee lifts low, knee lifts high, or easy. Just a little tiny lift of the knee. You're working to your own level. You can do the hard work all the way through if you want to, or you can make it all easy all the way through. We've got a little bit longer on this one. Take a rest. Remember, we just stand, take a breather. If you've got water at the side of you, have a little sip. Try not to gulp, just little sips of water. Try not to do too much through session. Sometimes that can make you a little bit sick, so just little sips if you're going to have a drink. Next move, we're going to go to half jacks to start with. So, legs, easy level, little tap out to the side, harder level, bringing the arms, harder still, high arms. So that's bringing your heart rate up even more, harder still, on the spot jacks, harder, do them fast. Yeah, so easy, little tiny half jacks, no arms if you want to make it easier, bring in the arms, or jacks on the spot, or a mixture of all the moves. If you want to do a mixture, that's fine, take a breather. Next move, we are going to go to pushbacks, which turn into spotted dog. So pushbacks, take a breather, just let the heart rate come down. You do need these little rests, they're very important. So get ready to go to your pushback next. Easy level first, little tiny taps, pushing back to make it harder, and bring in the arms, little arms if you want to, stronger arms, harder, harder still, little hop, or spotted dog, that's your hardest level, on the spot, spotted dog. So easy, little tiny taps, no arms, with the arms, little hop, or spotted dog on the spot, which is your hardest move with your spotted dog. Nearly there, stop, take a breather. Next, step ups. If you haven't got a step, or you can't use the bottom stair, if you haven't got stairs, you can go back to marching on the spot, you can go back to knee lifts, you can go back to half jacks, go back to any of the moves that you like to do. If you've got a step, we're going to try and do alternate step ups onto the box, up and down. Ideally, if you can work with alternate legs, get used to working with alternate legs. It's really good for your coordination, so that's another really good thing for your fitness, to work with your coordination. You want to make it harder, little jump onto the box, on, off. You can make that bigger. So big jump on, get your heart even higher, or make it easy. Little tiny steps on and off. If that gets too hard, just march it down, yeah? Just mix it up, mixture of them all. So that's your step ups, take a breather. Next, we're going to go on the spot twist. So starting again with the easy move. Take a breather. I actually need these breathers today, because I've had a really hard day. So, like me, you might really need the breathers as well today, so just make sure you have a good rest down. On the spot twist. Little tiny twist is your easy level. Little bit harder. Arms go up, you can go arms down, arms up, arms down, harder still. On the spot twist. Yeah, so this gets your heart rate right up. You can get your arms up here, make it as hard as you want to. Big jump, if you want to, or nice and easy. I'm going to keep it nice and easy today. So nice, easy level for those of you that have had a long, hard day like me. Just keep it easy and remember that a session is better than no session. Nearly there, take a breather. We're going to go right back to the first one, back to on the spot jog. This is going to be our last move today with me. If you want to carry on, you can carry on and do another 10 minutes. Fantastic. If you've got the energy to do that, go for it. So the last move on the spot is march. Little tiny march. No arms. Making it harder. We bring the knees higher, harder. Little jog on the spot. Harder still, sprint on the spot, or mix it up. Fast before, steady before, fast before, steady before, or just march. So this is your last move today for your hit with me. Remember, you can repeat it all from the beginning, and what we're going to do on our next few sessions, well done, take a breather. What we're going to do on our next few sessions is we're going to change the time on that, because I did show you the HIT app on your phones, I think probably about 2 or 3 sessions back. So if you have not got that, just go back on the videos, find the HIT app, which I showed you that you can all use on your phone, where you can put your phone at the side of you. It can do 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, or 40 seconds on, 10 seconds off. what we're going to do in the next few sessions, we're going to go 45 on and 15 off. So we're going to try and make it a little bit harder if we can. So that's your hip work for today. Today, just excuse me, I'm going to find a mat. So if you've got a mat at home, that would be fantastic. If you haven't got a mat, absolutely fine. What I would do at home to improvise is just get yourself like a beach towel or a couple of bath towels, or you might have nice soft carpet, so just work on the carpet. Today we're going to do the abs, because we've started to do little bits of toning with all our HIIT sessions, so that eventually we're going to be doing lots of strengthening work, legs, bottom, arms, abs and back. So very important, you've heard me say before, is technique. It's absolutely vital. So when you hear me talk about the breathing and the technique, please listen. It will give you much more effective results, much quicker results, and more importantly, it will reduce your risk of injury. So that's the reason why I keep talking to you all the time about technique. It's vital. So sit-ups. Most people make the mistake, especially when they first start doing ab work, of going all the way up and all the way down, all the way up and all the way down. And unless your abs are super strong, all you're actually going to do with that exercise is work your hip flexors and not your abs. So we're going to start off with an easier level of abs, and again, I will be making these harder for those of you that are more advanced. But breathing is vital. So I've got my feet flat to the floor. I've got my ankles, knees and feet to be hip distance apart. I'm lying back on the mat. Hands at the side of the head is a harder level. Across the chest, a little bit easier. We're starting with the easiest level. Hands sliding up and down your leg. Breathing out on the way up through your mouth, in on the way down through your nose as we go. Just halfway up is all you need to do. And every time you breathe in, pull your tummy tight. So breathing out, breathing in. Breathing out, breathing in. So you can see I'm only going halfway up my legs. A little bit harder, hands across your chest. Breathing out, breathing in. Breathing out, breathing in. Or harder still, hands at the side of the head. Breathing out on the way up, in on the way down. Out on the way up, in on the way down. Now, you're going to hopefully work in sets. So, for an absolute beginner, and you may find that you feel it a lot in your neck and shoulders initially, that usually happens before your abs get strong enough to do the full exercise. So please don't worry about things like that. It's quite normal. And when I first started doing abdominal work, my neck and shoulders, I could feel it more in my neck and shoulders for months until my abdominals got stronger. So it's quite normal. But for that reason, for those of you that are complete beginners, I want you to build up. So maybe just do 5 and take a rest. Another 5 if you can, take a rest. For those of you that have already done abdominal work, you can do the harder level and you can perhaps do a set of 20 or 30. But ideally building yourself up to a set of 50 if you've already got some abdominal strength. So recap, easy level. Hands slide up and down. Breathing out through the mouth, in through the nose. Harder level, hands across the chest. And harder level still, hands at the side of the head. Every time you go down, pull these muscles tightly back. So that's your first level of abdominal work. We're going to add in as well today some work for the waist as well. So these are crossovers, same position. So completely the same to start with, but just slightly different with the movement. A lot of people find these a bit harder to do initially. So again, just work your way up. Just do a few to start with and build yourself up as and when you're ready. So the same position, knees bent. We start this with the hands at the side of the head. We're going to cross the hand to the knee and all the way down. Hand to the knee, all the way down. So we lift and lower, and lift and lower, lift and lower. So this works also the abdominals, so you will feel this one here as well. But it also works the waist, so the obliques. So we're starting to tone all these muscles around the middle, stomach and the waist. So same breathing, out on the way up, in on the way down. Same repetitions, so if you're complete beginner, just start. If you do 5, or if you can do 10. If you're a little bit more advanced, you can do 30, that would be alternate legs. So 1 each side is 1. So for a harder level, you could perhaps do 30. The idea is to build yourself up, and in the future weeks, I will be able to make these even harder, so you'll see how we go with that in the future weeks. And then we're just going to do a little bit of work for your lower back. It's really important that you don't only tone your stomach, that you do start to work your lower back as well. Otherwise, if you only tone your stomach and not your lower back will become weaker. Muscles generally need to be working in pairs. So if you're working the fronts of the legs, you work the back. If you're working the stomach, you work the back. If you work the fronts of your arms, you work the back, so that you've got the strength of all the muscles. A little bit of work for your lower back, just to start off with, lying in front. And all I'd like you guys to do for the next few exercises is just lift your legs up, hold it to the top for 3 breaths and release down. So we lift the legs up, only a tiny lift, not too high, hold it for 3 breaths and release. If you want to make that easier, just lift one leg, hold it for 3 breaths and release, and then the other leg, 3 breaths and release. Or if you want to make it harder, you can lift your arms in your legs, 3, 2, 1, release. 3, 2, 1, release. So easy level, one leg, and then the other holding for 3 breaths. Harder level, 3 breaths, and hardest level, arms and legs together. So you will find with this exercise that you feel it in your lower back, and just try, although it's quite difficult at first, not to hold your breath. It's quite a tricky one to do, so stick with it. It's brilliant for strengthening your lower back. Also in our sessions as the weeks go forward, I will be doing a whole section on core and back work. So for those of you that suffer with back problems, which is quite common, I will start to give you some core strengthening, back strengthening work, posture work, and some stretches for your back. So a little stretch for your abdominals, because we've worked the abs today. So you're just reaching up, stretch all the way through, and release down, and your waist going over to one side. 20 slow seconds, remember, and the other side, 20 slow seconds, and don't forget, you've done your hip. So because you've done your hip, you still do the leg stretches at the end of your exercise. That's your calf stretches, both sides, your quad stretch, your glute stretch, and your hamstring stretch. You will have these in more detail in the other videos. If you've only just joined in and you're not quite sure of the stretches, please flick back on previous videos and have a look at the stretches, because they are really important.